I got a full-time job at ClickUp, but not how you think. January 21st, 2023. Now I'm still working on a full-time animation role, but money was tight, so I needed something extra. So, just like any normal man and provider would do, I looked for a side hustle. And there was nothing worse than going through all those saturated LinkedIn job posts, going through Simply Hired, Indeed. I was getting nowhere. Until I remember something a certain person once said.
Twitter still has a big advantage over every other platform.
So I went straight to Twitter, or X, and typed looking for video editors in the search bar. It came up with loads of results, so I inboxed everybody. And it was either crickets or crazy people asking for ridiculous samples, until I got the reply that changed everything. The reply came from a gentleman called Leo, who at the time owned a project management software company called Plutio. And not long ago, it just so happened that he tweeted that he was looking for video editors. So the timing was perfect. And he was really keen and serious. He really liked the videos that I'd made. Now, to be honest, I never really used Twitter like that. The last time I did was back in 2016 when I made magic happen with Gary Vee. But overall, it's not really my cup of tea. We got on a call straight away, wasting no time. And it was like I'd already met this guy. We got on so well. We discussed everything on that call, to the point where he even offered me a full-time role straight away. But in the end, we decided to keep it part-time just to test things out first. Granted, I was looking for a part-time role, but if there's a full-time role and the opportunities are right and there's space to grow, you best believe I'm gonna take that leap. So, after my full-time role, after cooking dinner and putting my daughter to bed, I worked part-time with Leo. But I wasn't making content for Plutio. I was doing something a little bit different. So, I was helping to build Leo's personal brand. The plan was to make videos for Plutio, but this was so much cooler. We made loads of videos discussing random facts that people may not know. The series was called
What If I Told You? What If I Told You? What If I Told You?
We made so much of these videos, to the point where Leo even brought on a social media manager to assist with script writing and to schedule posts. And some of the videos did so well. I was absolutely loving the road that we were going down right now. Finally, I was back to creating content that I love making. And any meeting that Leo and I had, he would always reassure me of how he would help me any way that he could. He'd talk about his business success stories, also about how he was slowly making the move to work with ClickUp, and how he would do whatever he could to create opportunities for me there also in the future. So this is what motivated me when I was tired after work. This guy believed in me. I felt I owed it to him to keep pushing through. May 13th, 2023. Leo even traveled from Dubai to London to meet me. He even hooked me up with my own accommodation. We explored various parts of London, including the Churchill War Rooms, went to some cool places to eat in Soho, and of course, discussed plans for the future. Now, everything was going great until I received a message about my full-time role that changed everything. May 17th, 2023. After 6.5 years of working with them, my job was coming to an abrupt end because of loss of revenue. So now I'm panicking, because remember before, I was trying to hustle for extra money. Now I've got around a month to land a full-time job. All I was thinking about was my partner and my daughter. I'm a provider, the man of the house. I needed a plan, but then this happened. May 20th, 2023. Now, I just walked out the swimming pool building with my daughter, and then something just told me to look at my phone. And I'd noticed that Chris Cunningham of ClickUp had inboxed me on Instagram, asking if I was the dude that created Leo's videos. Now, I knew of Chris Cunningham from working on some videos featuring him for a company back in 2022.
If you want to build a billion-dollar company, you need to understand these 5 paradoxes.
So, the dialogue began between me and Chris. He was looking for similar videos to the ones I made for Leo, and he wanted to arrange a call between us ASAP. This was nuts, overwhelmingly nuts. Everything was happening all at once. I had to make this work. Now, this was amazing and all good and everything, but where the hell am I gonna get the money to pay the rent for next month? I had to do something I hate doing, borrow money. So here was my situation. I had received my final pay from my old job, which only covered me for that month. So I needed something on top of that to carry me over for next month also. That way, that gives me 2 months to sort something out. So I tightened my belt, swallowed that big ass cantaloupe I like to call my pride, and I asked my parents, Mum, Dad, can you please lend me the equivalent of my usual monthly pay? Lucky for me, they were able to assist. Phew. So yeah, that's that sorted. May 22nd, 2023. I spoke with Chris on a Zoom call. Spoke about ClickUp, Leo, our come up, all types of stuff. We even had another call 3 days later, where basically he went over what he wanted me to work on, which was editing music videos featuring a rap artist called KJ, who actually worked for ClickUp. So he wanted me to take the raw footage and spice it up, which is my forte. After that call ended, I was like, I have to impress Chris. This little arrangement that we've got could turn into a full-time gig with ClickUp. So the only thing left to do now was to show and prove, baby. June the 9th, 2023, I received an email from Chris. It was a full-time job offer containing information about temporary part-time pay and arrangements for the next few months, and that the overall plan was to aim for a full-time role position with ClickUp thereafter. This was it. I have to show the fuck up now. And you better believe I did. I went in with the production, experimenting with different styles, using Midjourney and Runway to create these animated sequences to mix in with KJ's raw footage. My goal was to do everything that video editors at ClickUp weren't doing. I wasn't playing any games here. I even studied ClickUp's social media pages. This was how I was gonna stand out and get me a full-time role. As well as these videos, Chris had me produce videos for Andy Frisella, the CEO of 75 Hard, First Form, and the host of the Real AF podcast. Yo, I was able to even knock out 2 videos in one evening. Further down the line, I began to create tutorial videos exploring use cases for some of the features in ClickUp, collaborating with both Leo, who was full-time at ClickUp by this point, and Chris. I was churning out so much content, but all of a sudden, as time passed, a huge growing sense of unease began to loom over me. June 24th, 2023. I've been feeling this overwhelming sense of impending doom, and I just couldn't shake it. I mean, I'd not long left my full-time job of 6.5 years. I've got a 3-year-old daughter to provide for, a girlfriend to think about, and here I was making videos for these great guys who I've only known for a minute, working without having signed a contract yet. And I just kept thinking, what if, for whatever reason, this just doesn't work out? Then what? Because in my mind, if things were to go left, it wouldn't be because of personal reasons, it would be because of business. All I had was their word. I trusted them, but I still yearned for a sense of security. A month went by, now we're at the end of July, and in my mind, this is when things should start to take shape. But I still felt like I was in limbo. You know, I'd hit Leo up every now and then and voice my concerns to him, and he would always reassure me that I'm creating the correct type of content and that he is doing his best to make things happen, but it just takes time. Which, by the way, I understood fully, but a huge part of my brain just couldn't relax. I remember just repeatedly referring back to that ClickUp offer that Chris sent me and telling myself, just remember, you just have to make it to August, then you're good. But as the weeks passed, August dawns, and there's no sight of a full-time job contract with ClickUp. August 11th, 2023. Chris and I are scheduled for a call, and I was trying not to get my hopes up, but in the very back of my mind, I was kind of hoping that this call was where Chris was going to deliver me the good news. So we're on the call. He told me that there are so many different departments looking for video content, so his strategy was to put me in touch with all those departments as a way to help speed up the process of me becoming ClickUp official. But overall, things were going to take a little bit longer than expected. I can't lie. Hearing that was a bit of a blow to me. Bear in mind, this had everything to do with me, no one else. This was me. I mean, I'd set my expectations on having a job that month. On top of that, my girlfriend is asking me about my situation every other day, so she's worried. And on top of that, my manhood was taking a hit because, I didn't really feel like much of a man because I didn't have an official job. And all those thoughts were just mashing up my head big time. But I had to put it all to one side. Yes, Asher, you have no contract, no security, on paper. But look at what you do have. 2 guys willing to take a chance on you. That's the only way you're going to get through this. As the weeks went by, my attention was turned to ClickUp AI, and Leo and Chris had requested for me to produce some content for it. And this is where I gained some serious momentum. I was on a serious roll. It's mid-September, and I'm feeling very different from how I was feeling a month ago. That feeling of doubt I had in my gut had transformed into a roaring fire. At this point, I'm now working with various departments in ClickUp ClickUp on different types of content. Template TV, which was screen recording for long form content tutorials. I still had the content I was working on with KJ every now and then, creating shorts for Chris and his personal brand, but my main focus was Click Tips. I created loads, I mean relentlessly smashing those out, because in my mind, there was no way that this was going to get overlooked. I told myself this: I have to produce these clips in a way that hasn't been done before, and above all else, create such a large volume of content that it will put me in a position where I'm undeniably deemed as an asset to the brand. I kept myself busy for months, to the point where I had no time to let doubt creep back into my mind again. September turned into October. October turned into November, which by the way was the month my girlfriend walked into my office and told me that she's pregnant with our second child. So that's more pressure to make this work. And then came December. Will Santa bring me something special before next year comes? December 13th, 2023. I'm in front of my computer, ready to smash out more content as usual, just like any other day. Then I receive a message from Leo on Slack. Now in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, he's just gonna ask for an update about the work. He's just checking in to see how things are going, being a manager. But no, it was even better. Ash, yo, the transaction has been officially kicked off. Expect an email soon, my friend. You are coming under creative. What? I'm sorry, what? I must have read this over like 5 times just to make sure that I was actually reading what I was reading. But yes, I was about to become official. It was actually about to happen, just in time for New Year's. A huge wave of emotion and relief showered over me. I told my girlfriend and she was so happy and relieved. A few days later, the documents and contracts got sent over. I signed them and I was finally official with ClickUp in a secure role. And yo, listen, for a man and a provider, that means everything. And you know what? In retrospect, professionally, that's probably the most uncomfortable that I have ever been. And yo, it was tough, it was scary, it was uncertain, but hey, it was a hell of an experience traveling down the road to ClickUp.